Hey everybody. I want to tell you about a dream I had on getting in touch with God and the way that we're supposed to live. Alright? As some of you know, I let go of all religion, threw my Bibles away. No religion, even Christ. I let go of Christ because he was for the old world. And he came to redeem those who are under the law. And we don't need that now. Alright, he was the last man, Adam, all that stuff's done. He came to them to be a redeemer. We're not supposed to need a redeemer. We come at the end. Christianity ended in AD 70 whenever Jesus destroyed the temple in Jerusalem. Alright, Christianity ended, the whole old world ended. So I decided I'm just going to pray to the Creator, and that's it. I don't want anything else in my mind. I don't want any doctrines of anything at all. No preconceived doctrines, nothing. I just want to know what he will tell me whenever it's him and me, and that's it. Alright? So the other night I had this dream where there was this tower, and it was a big, square building, huge building, and on top there was like plateaus, and on top there was a lightning rod that connected with God up in the sky. Alright? And everybody's goal in the whole world, every single person's goal was to make it to the top of this tower. There was people down here, there was people in the middle, there was people that were closer to the top. As we got to the top, me and a couple other people, me and some other people, I don't know, there was other people up there, and we'd gotten close to the top. But as you get to the top, we'd go inside the tower, and everybody has to go through all these obstacles to make it to the top. Well, as we get close to the top, the slides, they were slippery slides, we were holding onto the side of them trying to get up there, and they were real steep as you got up close to the top. So we'd get off and get on this plateau down here and never actually make it up to the lightning rod where we could get in touch with God. Well, in the dream, there was people climbing over top of each other as you got close to the top, and everybody's strength was giving out, trying not to slide back down, and people knocking each other down, knocking each other off, and the slides were twisting and turning, and it was hard and looping and stuff. And the Spirit told me in the dream that the people that were weighing each other down were friends and family, and that the slides twisting and turning and all those obstacles were doctrines. And we were trying to work our way through all this and make it up to the top. And it was everybody's goal to make it to the top of this tower. It was like that was the only goal in life for every single human being, was how do I get in touch with God? How do I make it to the top of this tower? Well, once I got up to a plateau on the roof and I looked up and the tower was still up there, I couldn't make it to the tower, I couldn't get the rest of the way up, so I just gave up. I let go of everything, I forgot about everything, and I just free fell back to the ground. And I was just standing there looking at this tower going, thinking of how everybody's tried and nobody's made it up there, and as I was doing that, it was like God provided me with, alright, I was standing in the flesh, but then like my eyes opened up to the Spirit, and right next to me, God handed me a pole, a really long pole. So I didn't go back into the tower. My flesh reached in the Spirit, I got in the Spirit, grabbed the pole out of the Spirit and brought it back into the flesh, back into the physical, And whenever I did, I took it and I just pole vaulted all the way to the top. I didn't go in the building, I pole vaulted all the way up to where the rod was, to where I was in touch with God. And I was in this, rod. The rod, I was as high as I was supposed to go, and I reached the goal that every human's supposed to reach. This is what the dream was, Everybody was trying to get up there. And then from the top, I yelled down to everyone. And I started telling them, I said, it's easier than we ever knew, guys. I said, the gist of the things I was saying was, I said, just get a pole, forget about the struggle, forget about the tower, forget about the way we've been trying to do it that's never worked. I was like, God has provided us a way to do it. And I told everybody to get into the Spirit, have dreams and visions, and just ask God personally, is what it meant. I told everybody He had provided us a way, and that it's easier than we could imagine, and we just have to leave everything behind and forget the struggle and ask God Himself, because He gave me this pole. So I told him to get in the Spirit, and I said, everybody get a pole, get in the Spirit and get up here. It's easier than we could have ever imagined. It's the doctrines and everything that's weighing us down, guys. But now that I'm doing the Creator only, what do you want? What do you want? Well, He's telling me these things. He's telling me, how things work and everything. and I'm asking him more questions, you know, about what happens to people after they die and everything, and I'm going to, whenever he gives me those dreams, because I don't want to set doctrine on it. I don't care what was said back then. That was for a completely different world. I don't care about all that. It's done. It's over. And so I'm asking him about that. And he also gave me a really cool dream about Jesus and how people have him in chains and stuff. So I'll probably share that with you too here soon. But I just wanted you to know that what he was telling me in this was that I was doing the right thing. By letting go of all my doctrines and everything, God provided me with a way to get in touch with him, to get to the top of this tower. That was the goal in everybody's life, you know. And now I'm telling everybody else how easy it is. Forget Christ, forget the Bible, forget your religions, forget everything. All that was done so that you would have access to the Creator, not so you can make a doctrine out of Christ whenever he came to do a short work and fulfill everything. So just forget all that, because if you're praying to those types of spirits, you're going to be seeing that stuff. If you're praying to Christ, you're going to see what they had to do back then in that 40 years of Christianity. You know, between the time Christ died and the time he returned. That's what you're going to see, because that's what spirit you're of. But if you're just praying to the Creator, God will talk to you and tell you how things are happening today. Alright? So it's that simple. I don't have a religion to give you. The only thing I can do is tell you to get out of religion. And it's so simple. The Creator only. You're supposed to have access to him now. But everybody's mixing it with all this past stuff, and it's ruining everything. So, alright guys, so that's the dream he gave me about that, and telling people how to get in touch with him, and I'm going to post more dreams that he gave me. So